Welcome back to the exciting video, and what we're talking about today is the easy way to play Living Colour's Cult of Personality. Okay, so some years ago, I was in a band, and we kind of prided ourselves on doing music that other people were not doing. For instance, we were doing Rush and things like that, and kind of mixing some things up a little bit to some more of the complicated. May not be as popular, but we always got a really good response out of it because we were playing things that simply nobody else was playing. And one of the songs we wanted to tackle just happened to be Cult of Personality by Living Colour. And I thought, okay, well, I can do this. But the problem is I was going to have to sing it. And there was the crux of the entire thing. So if you're familiar with the song or not, and if you go online and you look at tab, you're going to find 10,000 tabs showing you 10,000 ways to play the song. I honestly don't know if any of them are correct. I have no idea. But on that note, Vernon Reid has a very peculiar picking passage on this. And if you're not familiar with it, you're going to start at 6-3 right here, and you're going to go to 4-3 up to 5-5 down to 6-3 to 4-2. And that was a very odd. That was just a very odd picking passage. So I worked on that for about a week, trying to get that down and trying to sing it. Because if you're familiar with the song does have two different time signatures in it. And the vocals don't always line up rhythmically with what's being played on the guitar. So it was making it very hard. So I went back to my band and I said, guys, I don't know if I can do this. I mean, I can either play it or sing it. I don't know if I can do both. So being that I was the only guitar player in the band, everybody's like, we really want to do it. Can you try it again? And I was like, all right. So at this point, I sat out to try and simplify how to play this song. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of people play the first part the way I'm going to do it because it was just the easiest way to do it. And that's just where you do this. And what we're doing here is we're on 6-3, and we're going to go to 4-3 with a pull off. We're going to go back up to 6-3, and then we're going to go to 4-2. And if my guitar falls, it shouldn't, but I lost the retaining pin on my thing, and it fell directly in front of me in the floor, and I can't find it. So hopefully this stays on. So just bear with me if it crashes to the floor. So that was the easier way for me to do it, because that was the main part of the riff that was under the vocals. And I thought, okay, I can do this. That was just much easier. I didn't have to pay attention to what I was doing, because as you know, if you're singing and playing guitar or doing two things at one time, singing and playing piano, you can only concentrate half on each one. You can't concentrate fully on one. And even if you know your part inside, outside, upside down, however the hell you want to say it, you still have to give some thought to that part. You just can't blank out and go on. So I thought, okay, I might be able to pull this off, but how am I going to do the second part? So I started tooling around with it, and this is what I came up with. And if you want to hear how this sounds, now granted, I'm not singing it on this, my singer Holly is, but you can go to my YouTube channel, go to my shorts, and you can listen to a little clip where we're breaking in our new drummer on this particular song to see how it sounds up against a band playing it this way. And unfortunately, the drummer never got it, so there was that. But on with the lesson. So we had this part down. So what I did is that, the second part, the fingering was just as obscure. And I thought, okay, I've got to find a way around that. So what I did is I thought, okay, how can I do this with the least amount of effort to where I don't really have to think about it all that much, just play. And this is what I came up with. So it starts off the same way the riff does. With the same thing, from the 6-3 to the 3-4 pull off, the 4-3 pull off, back to the 6-3. Then right here, I went on the 4th string, I went 5-3 pull off to open. And then I went 7-3 pull off back to the 5-3. And I thought, hang on, this might actually work. Okay, this actually isn't half bad. I can do this without having to think about it too much. I don't have this weird fingering going on with this weird picking passage on this side. This actually might work. So I started practicing this. Look in my eyes, what do you see? The kind of personality. And I went on through the song. And then in between the song, we had these little parts. And I thought, that's pretty damn easy. So now I just got to pick out the other part of that riff, which is this. Granted, it would sound much better with distortion instead of doing all this clean. So, and with all these pull-offs and stuff, it does work better if you have something to help deaden the sound of your strings, because it can get a little noisy at times, especially when I'm singing, and I'm really not concentrating too much on muting strings, just playing the notes and singing. So what I did here is I did the first part of this riff. I did the 6-3 to 4-3 pull-off, to the 5-3 on the 4th string pull-off, to the 7-3 pull-off, to the 5-3, and then I repeated that again. Except right here we do the 5-3 pull off. Now we're going to go to the 3rd string and we're going to do a 5-4 pull off to 4. Right here, now we're going to go to 4-3. And then we repeat it. And I thought, holy shnikes, this made it so much easier for me to play and sing this song. And it was just like doors just started opening at that point. And actually, this is the song that really got me into, okay, I got to sing this or play piano while I'm doing this. How do I change this to make it suit my style of playing without having to think about it too much? And this is actually what got me changing songs. Not so much, I mean, I'm still playing them correctly. I just change the fingering sometimes, or if parts are played up here, I'll play them over here just to accommodate how I'm playing. And I thought, hell, this is brilliant. I think I can do this. So it took me about a week after I figured that part out to learn how to sing over the top of that. And it was all downhill from there. And it made it incredibly easy. Now what I did, because when we get into the chorus, it's just a whole other weird Vernon Reid thing going on. And so instead of doing this, instead of doing that while I'm trying to sing, it was just too much. So what I did is I went down here to the B flat, and it's all the same chord progression, and it worked beautifully. And what I did was I got a B flat power chord, or a B flat 5, up to an F5, to a C5, to a G5, to a D5, to a D major 7. And there again, if you have not watched my video on do your major 7 chords suck, now would be a good time. So what we're doing here, a little bit of theory. If you're playing a D5 and you're playing the octave of it, so we have root, 5th, octave, this is your 8. If you take your 8 and you back it down 1/2 step, that becomes your major 7. If you back that down another 1/2 step, that becomes your 7. So we have a D5 octave, D major 7, D7. I know, theory is a beautiful thing. Again, if you haven't watched my video on that, on do your 7 chords suck, now would be a good time to watch it. And before I go any further, please subscribe to the channel. If you like what you're seeing here and you appreciate all the hard work that I put into this, then please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video. And if you don't like what I'm doing, I don't care. Like the damn video anyway. Or don't like the video, give it a thumbs down because it's still traffic to the channel. So click any button you want to click, to be honest with you. But I would appreciate it if you subscribe because that really helps me keep this channel going on. And if you want to help a little further, then you can jump over to my Patreon page and you can jump on there and help support the channel even further if you would like to. So going back to what we're going to do here. So again, the main riff. And this is the main riff with the first sub riff. Now this is the entire riff, all the 3 pieces put together. And then what I did there, and like I said, is instead of playing on the chorus, and I'll show you the way that he does it. You're barring off 2, 3, and 4 up here at the 15th fret, and then you're moving down to the to this A shape right here, and you're at 15, 14, 13. Then you're just gonna move that down a half step, and you're gonna be at 14, 12, 13, straight up to the 12th fret. Then you're gonna jump down to at the 12th fret, you're at on the 2, 3, 4 string, 12th fret. Then you're going to go to 12, 11, 10, down a half step to 11, 9, 10, to the 10, then, and it was just so much easier. And of course, there's variations of that. So there are variations of that. But it was so much easier for me when I'm singing just to do this. And of course your trim system, wow, 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 wow. Now I'm really not going to go over the solo too much. The solo is about 9,468 notes per second, and it's right here, in G. If you played this in G minor pentatonic, you can play the entire solo right there pretty much. There are a couple little steps out of it, but not much. There's only a couple really key notes you really need to hit. I don't have my trim on it, so I can't play all of them. But the intro, you're just going to jump up here to 18 and just, you have to hit that note to start the solo off. And then trill around through the solo as much as you want to do. Listen to it, and like I said, there's a bazillion notes in there. Most of it is done right here. And then it does have one part where it'll go. And right here is where I use my trim, and I'll reel while I'm doing this, and then it'll come back to, and then just, you know, trill down through it. And the only other part you really got to be concerned about that you have to hit is this part. Other than that, go in G minor and just will your ass off, and you'll be fine. If you hit those key parts, you'll be fine for the rest of it. But I just want to kind of give you a breakdown of how I had to simplify this song, an easier way to play Cult of Personality. Now, on that note, and I have heard this from so many people that I just want to start snatching heads off. Dude, it sounds correct, but you're not playing it correct. Dude, I don't give a shit. Dude, I play it that makes it easiest for me, not what makes it easier for you to watch. And I've heard that so many times, and it just irritates me when another guitar player comes up and tries to call me out. And I've had that happen just too many times. And then I always say the same thing to the guitar player. You know what the amazing thing is? You're in the audience watching me play. I'm not in the audience watching you play. And that seems to shut them up almost every single time. The point I'm making is you don't have to play it exactly like the musician plays it. You know, if I was going to give a tutorial on, hey, this is how we exactly play Poison by Alice Cooper, then I would exactly play Poison by Alice Cooper. I'm not doing that. I'm showing you how I simplified a song to make it work for me so I could sing the song. Like I said, if you go over to my shorts on my YouTube channel, hit shorts, I think it's the only short I got up there, to be honest with you, and you'll be able to hear how it plays into the backdrop of a band, and it works flawlessly, and it sounds 100% correct. So before you start sending me emails telling me that's not how it's played correctly, I know these things. Trust me, I know this. So I just have to say that, man, because you know people they will get on your back and they don't even know what they're talking about half the time. So I'm going to wrap that one up right there. If you have any questions about this, please drop me a line, send me a comment. And sorry, I've been moving a little slow because we've been working on my daughter's film. We have to have it submitted by the 1st. It's just a little 12-minute film, but I don't know if you've ever shot a little film. It is a tremendous amount of work. So I've been working on that, so I've been way behind the 8 ball. But I will have, we're about to wrap this thing up, and then I will be moving on with other fun things. So on that note, we're going to wrap it up right there. And like the great Sammy Hagar says, if you miss the beat, you lose the rhythm, and nothing falls into place. Practice your instrument, and for the love of God, whatever you do, rock on.